We are here and we are having a fun Testimonial Tuesday today. We are live, I think, on Facebook, and I am so excited. Many of you know me, those of you don't know me that are just kind of passing through and scrolling, you're going, who is this person? I am Kayleen Davies, and I am an intuitive health coach and certified life mastery consultant with the Brave Thinking Institute. I love helping people. And I have a special guest here. We're going to call this a Testimonial Tuesday today. I have Karen Snyder. It's interesting. We met through TikTok.
Yeah, yes, or Facebook.
And that has just been kind of interesting what social media can do to bring people
Yeah.
together. But we have something special. Karen has a fun story, and I just want to just put a little bit of disclaimer out there that whatever that we talk about and any products that we share about today, none of them are meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any kind of disease. However, my story is my story, and Karen's story is Karen's story. And I am here to spotlight Karen today. So, Karen, I'm so excited that you're here. And would you just kind of share about where you were? It's been almost a year. Well, it's been a year. It's been a little over a year since we actually met. Would you just share with our friends where you were and what your life was kind of like a year ago?
Sure. Well, my husband and I have been on a health journey for a long time, and we were experiencing a lot of fatigue and sleepless nights, um, a lot of inflammation, struggling with knees and joints and things like that. And we were looking for something that could help us through our natural aging process. And I just happened upon one of Kayleen's videos, and I said, "What is that thing in the blue bottle?" Because I was looking for something, and I've tried lots of different products, but I was looking for something a little bit more comprehensive and something I could take where I didn't have to take 10 supplements. I could take one thing that did a lot of stuff. And so that's how we started.
So I know you were feel how were you feeling? I mean, your husband was having a few health challenges. You were could you just share just a little bit how you were feeling then?
Well, I was personally having a lot of fatigue and not sleeping well at night, had, very low energy levels. And I still work a couple days a week and I have a very physical job, and I was just barely making it through that. Um, and, a lot of, I'd had a knee injury and that was causing me issues and going through physical therapy, and I was struggling with that. Also, some shoulder issues as well. And so I was just coming home and just dragging. Also, another thing I want to talk about too is I was always getting sick. Colds and flus and all kinds of things like that were happening to me. And I was just exhausted and I just had no energy. My focus, I couldn't get focused. And, I would look at old pictures of me and I would see the tiredness in my eyes. And I thought, I've got to find something that really works.
And and the story begins, or it
Yes.
began and it's continuing. But she talks about this blue little bottle, and these they're not, I mean, a lot of us refer to them as miracle drops, just because it has changed so much for me. It has helped me be able to sleep. But what this does is help to activate the vagus nerve. And if you don't
Yes.
know what the vagus nerve is, it is the main cranial nerve. There's 12 cranial nerves, but this is the main one that goes from the brain to the gut, and over 1100 functions. I mean, it just does a lot. A lot of the other cranial nerves, so it's like one for the eyes, one for the ears, one for, and this vagus nerve It is huge. It is so important. And you're hearing, some of you, if you're listening, are probably hearing more and more about the vagus nerve. And I hear, well, we can do cold plunges and breathing, and all of these things are great. And some of them actually stimulate the vagus nerve. And if we get stimulating too much, it can actually not be as good for the vagus nerve. And so we want to activate, not just stimulate. And so, what I shared this with Karen, and she's, what is this that you're taking? Because she heard that I was sleeping better and I was having long lasting energy, calm energy. And, I have been in, I didn't realize how much fight or flight I had been in since I was a little girl. We were practicing, I'm a musician, and so we were always rehearsing and practicing for recitals and concerts and competitions and all the things. And later in life, you lost a baby and a husband, and life just does life to us, and we stress. And so if you can calm your nervous system, I mean, if this is something that you would love is calm, um, comment calm in the comments below here, right? Calm, because who couldn't use more calm? So Karen, would you tell us a little bit about the calm, or and a little bit what you experienced with some of
Well,
your
I
feelings?
did after about 3 days. I love my I love my drops. After about 3 days, I just felt happier. I felt like peaceful. It's the only way I could describe it. More calm, more centered. And the longer I take these drops, the more things I find out. My clothes fit better because it activates the vagus nerve. It also helps get rid of that visceral fat, which is so bad for you. And just, I didn't feel sore or tired. I had more energy. And it's continued this almost this whole year that I've been on this. It's just been amazing how much better I feel. And I'm able to go on long walks again. I'm able to come home from work and not be totally exhausted. Um, so it's been a game changer for both of us. If I can share a little bit about my husband,
Before
he,
you do that, I'm just going to pause for a second. I don't mean to interrupt,
yes,
but I just want to tell you, even today, I haven't seen you for a little while. I mean, I saw you in October for the first time. We met in person, but even just since October, your skin is looking clearer, and
really,
your eyes, yes, and your eyes are brighter. And that's one thing I noticed with you
yes,
is the clarity of your eyes were clearer, you're brighter, and I know you're getting younger. You're looking younger. You compare. I wish we would have thought of have a picture. We could have put a picture up and showed when you started versus now. So maybe that's something you could post below here, and just do a before and a comparison. Because
that's a
honest,
great idea.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead about your husband.
So he has two bad knees. He's had a hip replacement, and we were looking at stem cell therapy. We were looking at shots to his knees, and we had done some of those. And we were going to a naturopath and a regular doctor trying to figure out what would work for him. And for a while, he was on some medications to reduce the inflammation, but nothing really, really worked. And now that we're on these drops, he doesn't use anything else. He does put knee braces on, he does put some arnica cream on every once in a while, but this has lowered the inflammation so much that he doesn't need any of the other therapies. And to me, that was so valuable that now he has progressed beyond that.
Well, with some of the medications and therapies and different things, um, when you don't have to have all of that, look at the money that you're saving. That's one thing
Oh,
I
yeah,
noticed when I started these, as because I had to take like six or seven things just at night to help me hopefully go to sleep, stay
right.
asleep for a little while, and all natural things because I like natural. but I couldn't stay asleep. I had the restless leg. I mean, my legs would just get crawling, and once in a while they still do, but it's not near what it was. And I was having to take a lot at night, and now I take these my New Zealand fulvic acid, and I'll let you talk about that in a minute. And but as far as what I was taking before, I only take my magnesium. That's it. I don't have to take all my 7 or 8 other supplements. But one thing I thought about, this is not just for humans. We've got we've got a friend that, excuse me, they give it to their horses and their cats and their dogs. And you had an experience with your dog, I remember that you had shared. Would you be okay sharing that with your dog?
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's 16 years old and he was not eating and he was not feeling good and he was listless and I knew something was wrong and so I started giving him these drops on a little treat every day and I think I did it for a week or two and it just brought him out of that whatever it was, that funk that he was in. And he's doing so good now. I'm sure he's going to live another 2 years. He's doing so great.
Well, anything that has a vagus nerve, this is
Yeah,
this is awesome. I remember you posting that on Facebook in that story, and I'm just like, oh my word, that's amazing.
it's
And the
amazing.
videos and well, that was kind of fun. But you know, we have a few other things, but this is our main flagship product. And if you are wanting some information on this, we've got some short videos. Like I said, reach out to Karen, reach out to me. Um, and we've got a short video. We won't take time now to explain how it works. We've got Allison Byler, who is an herbalist that has a beautiful way of explaining the vagus nerve and how it works and how these drops help. The matured hops extract helps, and it's not regular hops. You can Google hops, but it's not the regular hops. This is different. This is
Yeah.
the bitter acid extraction, so it's totally different. So comment if you want more information and you want the calm, put calm or put info. But Karen, you had a couple of other things that you wanted? We've had a lot of bugs that have been flying around this winter, and we have just before we hopped on live, I was just telling Karen, I have a daughter that was had surgery and went to help her for 3 weeks, and everybody in the household got sick, but I didn't, and she didn't. And I was taking this product. I'm going to let Karen kind of spotlight it for a minute. And my daughter was taking it. The two of us didn't get sick. Everyone else in the household got sick. So I'm totally sold on this. But would you just spotlight this core immunity?
Yeah, I love this. My husband and I started taking the immunity when it came out, and I normally get sick 3 or 4 times a year because I don't know, my immune system's not the best. And we take it every day. And when everybody else was getting the cough that lasted for months, the sniffles and all those things, I think I was sick for one day. I just had some fatigue and a runny nose. And then it was all over with. And I've got friends that have been sick for several months and it didn't ever hit us. And I was like, and I've tried tons of stuff. I've tried oregano oils and all kinds of other things. And this combination, this core immunity combination, has worked so well. Neither one of us got sick over winter time at all. So for the last, what we got it in October, and since October, I haven't been sick one time, and that like is amazing to me. That I mean, that sold me on this
That's
one right here.
5 months. Yeah. Well, I know we don't want this to be too long. Do you have anything else that you would like to share really quick before we sign off for the day?
Well, I will say I wish I'd had this years ago. I'm glad I have it now. And I want everybody to be able to experience it. And the other thing I want to say is some people try it and they only try it for a few weeks or a month or two, and maybe they don't see the results that they were hoping for. I'm so glad I stuck with it the whole year because over this last year, there's been so many good, healthy changes. Cholesterol's better, inflammation is down, all those different things that you can't always see or feel is happening in my body. And we're seeing the doctor less. We haven't been sick, like I said, all winter. And that's to me pretty major, especially once you get to our age, 55 plus, I'll say.
It's okay to say over 60. We're,
I know, over 60.
we're the
Um,
spectacular 60s, and you're in there.
I'm older than that. I'm
No, you're
70. I'm 70.
and you
Oh,
look fantastic. But here's just a
and so
couple
do
of
you.
things. Reduce the stress and inflammation, helps with cognitive function, gut health, skin health, better sleep, mood, energy. That's I mentioned the calm energy. I mean, just tons and tons of things because you're activating the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system, allowing the body to do what it needs to do. So Karen, this was fun. This was fun. And
Yeah.
thank you for being my guest today and being on here and sharing your amazing stories. We're going to have to get your husband on here one of these days too and share. But yeah, here again, so I know many of you have been watching. And if you're on the fence and you're going, oh, I just can't afford it. Well, let me tell you, you can't afford not to. Take the plunge. Your health, you cannot put a price on health. And I look at other people and a lot of people don't want to smile. They're grumpy, and a lot of us because they don't feel good. But not
Yeah.
only the physical health, the financial health. This company has an amazing plan that when you share and help others become healthy, they pay you. And I didn't ever think that I would be able to see this kind of compensation. But if you're worried about, I can't afford it, with there's many that we've been able to help get their product paid for before it even gets here. So don't worry about that. We'll help you with that. Do you have any comments on that one, Karen?
Well, it does help to pay for your stuff. I mean, that's a special bonus. I really enjoy that.
Pay for your product and then some. So I am so glad that I have this. And like Karen, I wished I'd have found this a long time ago, but being a foot zone practitioner, when I heard vagus nerve, I'm just like, count me in. This is important. So thank you for those of you that have tuned in and watching this. And if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay and calm when you're ready to put the calm into your body. So Karen, thank you so much for being
Thank you,
here.
Kayleen.
Ah,